Morning, everybody, or good afternoon if you're closer to the East Coast. We'll just give a few moments for people to join the room and then we'll dig right in. We have a large audience planned for today. Thank you all so much for coming. I think there's a lot of interest in hearing from 12 great companies in the summertime. So thank you for coming and spending some of your day with us today. We do have, as I said, 12 amazing ventures pitching, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them in a moment. To get started, my name is Leslie McKinnon. I'm the Director of Investor and Indigenous Relations here at Foresight Canada. I'm just going to give it one more minute and let a few more folks trickle in, and then I'll dive in. All right. One of my favorite sayings is don't punish the prompt. So we're going to dig right in today. As I said, my name is Leslie McKinnon. Thank you all so much for joining us today for our first ever summer pitch showcase. So we're trialing something new today and excited to have you all here joining us. The Foresight Summer Pitch Showcase is made possible by support from IRAP Canada's Industrial Research Assistance Program. So I want to say thank you to IRAP and the NRC. My first slide here is a heartfelt acknowledgement of the land that I am on here today in Treaty 7 territory. Would like to invite you all to take a moment to reflect on the land that you are on today. We do have a lot of significant weather events and crises happening in our natural environment, impacting many nations and communities across Western Canada and the Northwest Territories right now. So just want to send some thoughts to the folks that are dealing with crisis today and maybe aren't able to join us because of things happening in their communities. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to come today. Please do take a moment to reflect on the territory where you are based. I'm quite close to the Bow River here in Calgary and very grateful to have an abundance of water with all of the fires happening around the country. So we will dig right into our pitch showcases today. Foresight is Canada's largest clean tech accelerator. We work to support clean tech ventures like those on this call to reach net zero outcomes that will help Canada become the first G7 country to achieve net zero. And these amazing ventures are part of that solution. And many of you probably know a few of them, but hopefully you'll see some new faces and learn about some incredible new businesses today. So our first group, our structure for the event today is groups of 3 pitching ventures. So each venture will have 2 minutes to pitch here in the main room. And then after the first 3 pitches, we'll move into breakout rooms for 15 minutes. All of the participants on the call will be able to choose their breakout room. So for pitch block 1, you'll hear from Permalution, Breeze Traffic, and Volterra. You can then choose which breakout room you want to go and listen to a longer pitch and participate in the Q&A. Then you'll all come back to the main room. We'll do it again for block 2, et cetera, et cetera. So our goal is to get you as much time as possible with the ventures in the conversations today. So with that, I am going to turn it, I did keep a couple slides in there, but I'm just going to turn it straight over to Tatiana and Permalution.
Hi, everyone. So I am Tatiana, founder, CEO of Permalution. And I don't know if you heard about all the news recently, but according to the UN, by 2030, 2/3 of the world will not have enough water to cover their needs. And there's already 14 countries under extreme drought category. And only in the US, drought has cost over $250 billion. So what we do at Permalution, it's technology for cloud and fog water collection. So as rain is considered vertical precipitation, fog or clouds are considered horizontal precipitation, and we can collect up to 3 times more water than with rain. By definition, fog and clouds are composed of tiny particles of water that are suspended in the air. And we're on a mission to introduce this new water source that otherwise would evaporate into the atmosphere through our world-class technology comprising 3 units: the Fog Atlas, the Water Radar, and the Fog Collectors. We are more efficient than rain, we are safer than groundwater extraction, and we're more affordable than desalination plants. We have deployed projects in agriculture, welfare mitigation, government utility services. Thank you. government utility services, mining sector, and this year we're also moving forward with humanitarian development as the needs are increasing. The IP belongs fully to Permalution, and also this year we have a new application that is being tested for industrial steam recycling. So we're still tapping into floating water. It's a whole new market. So we're adapting our solutions for data centers, textiles, nuclear, breweries, and many more. So at the moment, we are raising our seed fundraise of 1.5 to 3 million to expand the team, finalize our manufacturing capabilities. This year, we open a new manufacturing plant that is allowing us to take on even larger projects. We'll finalize our software algorithm, and we'll also expand on our research. We already have 2 million in soft commitments. We are looking for the lead. We are currently in discussion with several potential candidates. So we're going to start closing the round as soon as we find our champion. We are the best at what we do. We want to also have the best lead. So feel free to reach out. I'll be in the rooms. And yes, thank you. The answer is fog.
Thank you, Tatiana. Now over to Alexander, who's going to tell us about his company, Breeze Traffic.
Hello, good day, everyone. My name is Alexander. I'm co-founder and CEO of Breeze Traffic. And what we do at Breeze is we're developing technology which allows any city to decrease carbon emissions from traffic by 30%. Using the latest advances in computer vision and AI, our technology detects all road users around intersection, classifies them, measures their speed, their trajectories, their acceleration, deceleration, and calculates the emission signature down to a single vehicle, all in real time. And we use this information to change traffic lights in a way to remove avoidable emissions. Earlier this year, we signed our first commercial contract with TransLink and rolled out our technology at 5 intersections in the city of Surrey, here in Metro Vancouver. Through working on this contract, we achieved and still achieving very deep insights into the doings of TransLink and Surrey, Public Transit Authority, and municipality. And we already have a fairly good idea of what we're going to do next with each of these customers. But we believe we already achieved the product customer fit, and we're working on achieving product market fit and developing kind of scalable go-to-market strategy. And for this, we're raising our first round, $500,000 on 3 million pre-money valuation. We already have a signed term sheet, and we have lead investor and several commitments from several angels, and we're looking to raise only $200,000 to close this round. And I invite you to join our breakout room and to listen to our full presentation, and you will see why we're worthy of your investment. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Alexander. Over now to Ian of Volterra.
Climate change is real, and the transformation to a decarbonized and healthier future is underway, albeit with some key challenges. Range and cost anxiety, together with operational complexity, are the biggest obstacles to the adoption of battery electric vehicles and clean energy infrastructure in a fast-growing trillion-dollar global market. My name's Ian, the CEO of Volterra. Our core purpose is to democratize valuable battery data, providing battery health, transparency, and actionable insights through accurate, real-time, and easy-to-use software for fleet managers transitioning to electric vehicles. Next slide, please. We've developed a first-of-its-kind solution, EVCur, a virtual software battery engineer laser-focused on battery operational and maintenance efficiencies, utilizing events, data telematics, and artificial intelligence. It's been designed to unlock, manage, optimize, and predict battery health, saving time, money, and resources, as well as extending battery life by up to 15%. Providing the virtual services of an experienced battery engineer enhances a critical and costly human resource requirement to support the acceleration of zero-emission mobility at a fraction of the cost. On an electric bus, for example, EVCur can save fleet owners up to $15,000 per year in O&M expenses, an annual cost of about $1,000 to $2,000. Imagine being able to solve battery health problems before they occur with real-time, accurate insights. Imagine keeping batteries healthy in optimized condition, addressing and solving range anxiety and operational complexity. EVCur is the solution. Next slide, please. Volterra has attracted key talent with proven experience from startup to exit. We previously founded and ran Green Power, Thompson Power, Corvus Energy, and Mogio. And Volterra is planning to commence a technical and operational pilot demonstration of its EV Curve platform in the fall of 2023 in partnership with BCIT before market launch in late 2024. We're currently raising seed capital, and I would love to share more on the breakout room with you. Thanks.
Awesome. Well done, everyone. So there is our first round complete. So you will now be able to shortly join a breakout room. Astrid and Nisha are going to open those up. So just click on the box in the bottom to open up the breakout rooms tab, select the named option for the company you want to spend the next 15 minutes with. You will be able to move between breakout rooms if you want to go and connect with another venture partway through or bounce between, whatever you would like to do for the next 15 minutes. You should be able to do so now. And we'll see you back in the main room in 15 minutes.
I'm going to start off all the breakout rooms.
Thanks, Nisha. Just let us know in the chat if you have any issues accessing a breakout room. I think we're all back. And Astrid, you've taken over screen sharing. So if you're able to just advance us, thank you so much. So I'm going to dive right back in. It sounded like there were some great conversations happening in those breakout rooms, lots of good questions and great engagement from the audience. So thank you all so much. Our next pitch block, we're going to kick off with Darren and Hempalta. Over to you, Darren.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Darren Wander. I'm the CEO of Hempalta. If you missed the first couple of opportunities to invest in the cannabis space, I'm telling you that the third is here and quite exciting as industrial hemp begins to take a world stage. There's three very sexy parts to our business, and I'm excited to share the first one with you. Next slide. What we do is we actually manufacture agricultural, we take agricultural hemp off farmers' fields, which has ultimately been agricultural waste to this point. And we manufacture it through our advanced processing plant right here in Calgary, Alberta. And we end up getting these high value outputs, and we manufacture and produce those into a number of consumer products and then sell those direct to retail. Next slide. The products that we manufacture are a food preservation pad. Everybody can relate to the high cost of food. This actually will ultimately extend the shelf life of your fruit and vegetables for 15 to 30 days. We do soil enrichments, cat litter, animal bedding, and garden mulch, which really this forms the foundation of our business. But where we're most excited is a couple of opportunities that are right on the forefront. Next slide. Effective January 1st of 2024, hempcrete is actually going to be, has been admitted to all 49 of 50 states in the US residential building code. It's a much healthier alternative than fiberglass insulation. And we have our own custom formulation along with our own hemp bat that is made out of fiber that are really going to transform how houses are built and allow them to achieve net zero. And finally, the third really sexy part of our business and something we're excited about is our ability to capture and measure hemp carbon credits. So hemp is actually the #1 carbon sequestering crop that you can grow. But until now, nobody has really been able to figure out how to measure that. We've teamed up with the Hemp Carbon Standard to offer our farmers a very significant revenue stream, which will make it one of the most valuable crops that they can grow, in addition to the benefits that it has for their soil. It adds a significant bottom line and high margin opportunity to our business and really rounds out Hempalta as a great investment opportunity. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Darren. Thank you so much. And we'll now pass it over to Albert and Closure Liability Management.
Thank you, everyone. The oil and gas industry has an environmental problem, and it is actually not the one you think. Everybody talks about greenhouse gas emissions generated by fossil fuels, but what really nobody talks about is all the unproductive, inactive wells that exist in every energy producing area of the world. In Canada and the US, there's an estimated 4.5 million wells, of which 2.7 million are inactive. Each one of these wells has the potential to leak methane and contaminate the surrounding land and water. It's estimated these inactive wells could be emitting up to 22 million tons per year of CO2 equivalents in methane, and occupying almost 7 million acres of land that could be returned to productive use. So why are there so many inactive wells out there? Up until recently, there have been no obligations to do anything. So why should we pay attention? These times are changing. There's too much pressure from the public and too many instances of taxpayers paying the bill. Energy regulators are forcing companies to spend money to plug these wells and restore the lands. But how do we get started? How can we systematically evaluate every site and make a plan to efficiently restore them? Our team at Closure, with decades of experience working in the energy industry and dealing with the pain of oil field liabilities, are building a B2B, B2G software as a service tool to quickly evaluate the complexity and risk of restoring each site. Credico, our end-of-life process workflow, takes you through each stage of the restoration cycle and enables industry to scale up site restorations to meet increasing demand. We collect and unify critical data so you don't have to. What used to take hours will now take you seconds. It shows you which sites are the easy ones, which sites to watch out for, and how much it will cost. Machine learning and AI algorithms will help fill the gaps when information is missing. If we have to spend money on cleaning up oil patch garbage, we need to do it in the most efficient way possible. My name is Albert Lee, and I am the CEO of Closure. Please contact me to find out more or attend our breakout room for questions. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Albert. And I'll now pass it over to Carbon Lock Tech and Kevin. Over to you, Kevin.
Thank you. Hello. Yes, my name is Kevin Danner. I'm the founder and CEO of Carbon Lock Tech, and our company is focused on removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and locking it away permanently. And we do that with the best technology in the world, which is photosynthesis. Plants pull down about 1/3 of human emissions every year, and plants are excellent. They underpin our economy, their food, clothing, shelter, we use them. They cycle through the economy, but unfortunately end up as waste, often in landfills, and that carbon that has been captured by the plants is converted into methane and goes back up into the atmosphere. That's the problem that we're going to solve. Next slide. Next slide, please. Our business model is straightforward. We accept organic waste of all types: food waste, wood waste, crop waste. We convert it into a stable form of biocarbon, and then we can sequester that in agriculture, sustainable infrastructure, advanced materials. And by doing that, by locking this carbon, we can also qualify for a carbon removal credit. There are 3 revenue streams on this model, and we can generate revenue from all 3. Next slide. We have a patented reactor technology. This is pyrolytic technology. We're doing a number of big projects right now, putting the biocarbon in concrete, putting it in asphalt and agriculture. We're working with Ag Canada, the University of Manitoba, Assiniboine College, and we just signed an NDA with Lafarge Canada for some concrete trials. We've got some good support from government. We've got a great engineering team, and we're doing a seed round. We're raising $1 to $2 million over the next 6 months. We're looking for a lead. If you're interested, meet me in the breakout room and I'll tell you more about it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. So we will now move into our second round of breakout rooms. For those who decide to stay in the main room, we will have a little bit of a dance party, but I hope you'll go chat with some of our amazing ventures. We've got Hempalta, Closure Liability Management, and Carbon Lock Tech. So we'll open the breakout rooms now again. Please feel free to hop over and we'll see you back in 15 minutes. Well, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had some awesome explorations and conversations in the breakout rooms. Turning it straight over to Susan and Origin Air.
Hi, my name is Susan Blanchette. I'm the CEO and founder at Origin Air. We founded our purification company in 2019. And how it works, we've combined mechanical air purification to MERV filters with our secret sauce, which are genetically enhanced pothos ivy. We've proven in laboratory that our genetically enhanced plants remove 82% of benzene, 100% of chloroform. This is at very high levels. We've also proven in the field that our plants are removing specific volatile organic compounds 40% more than wild type plants. So we do a test with wild type in our air purifier and then with our genetically enhanced plants. And we've been funded through IRAP, SDTC, and multiple other grants to prove our technology. We combine this with air quality sensors. So we actually measure, manage, and earn our clients' environmental social governance points. Next slide, please. Our traction is picking up this year, especially. We're in some major corporates and major property management companies, which is our target market. We go in through sustainability and HR. We've won a ton of awards. Most recently, I was chosen as the first Canadian for the North America and Europe region to attend We Empower at the United Nations 78th Annual General Assembly in New York next month. But I'll tell you more about that in the breakout room. Next slide, please. So we are also coming out with a home unit. So as we've been developing the pinnacle, every time I pitch to investors, they say, what about me? I want one at my house. This is coming out in the new year. And our big goal is the HVAC integrated unit, because then not only can we clean the indoor air, but we can reduce the carbon footprint of buildings, which is now 39% of global GHG emissions. We're raising 1.5 million on a safe 15% discount rate and a 25 million val cap. We've currently brought in over 100,000 through a front funder that we were invited to do privately with TELUS. I look forward to telling you more in the breakout room.
Great, thanks, Susan. Over to Jerry and New Life. Jerry, you are on mute, so if you can.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. I'm Jerry Christian, co-founder of New Life Green Tech. If we could go to the next slide, please. So currently over 290 million tons of high moisture industrial waste is produced annually in North America. Our customers are paying to dispose of that waste, and our patented technology has validated market demand and traction, which is only going to grow as environmental regulations increase. So market drivers for us include the demand for CO2 emissions reduction. This is from investors and from governments. Landfill bans for organics, the escalating disposal costs, PFAS crisis and the expanding regulations attached to it. There's land spreading bans that are now coming into place in the US because of the PFAS. The increasing demand for low carbon fuels and carbon removal. We've just seen in the US, the Inflation Reduction Act is aggressively supporting carbon removal projects. So New Life gets paid the current tipping fee that they're already paying, and we take that waste and we turn it into renewable bio-crude oil and biochar. We utilize this carbon-dense mix of this renewable bio-crude and biochar for carbon removal. And this also allows us future upside in renewable fuels. We do not charge a green premium, and there's no CapEx investment required from our customers. Our validated technology is ready to commercialize, and we are currently commissioning our pre-commercial plant. Next slide, please. So why would you consider New Life? Well, we're a team of repeat entrepreneurs. My co-founder and I have each started, scaled, and exited 3 companies before New Life. And Stephanie, our CFO, she sold one company for 1.3 billion and grew another one to 700 million. We have Canadian and US patents. Additional patents are pending. And we're currently raising 8 million US to achieve commercial scale. We anticipate this to be EBITDA positive in 2025 from this facility. We also expect further non-dilutive funding to extend our runway and leverage equity raised. We look to a less than 3-year payback on investment and a 55% gross margin. So to learn more, please join us in the breakout room.
Great, thank you so much, Jerry. I will now pass it over to Wai, and I'm going to get this wrong, Wai. I'm just going to pass it to you so I don't mess it up.
Leslie.
My apologies.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Hua Yi. I'm the co-founder of CTL-Bee-Sison. Next slide, please. So today, it's a pleasure to get invited by Leslie, Astrid, and the team to present our company to you. So if you're somebody who would like to invest in a sustainable future and is curious on how we use different technologies such as AI, microbial genetics to build a beautiful product, and how this company will benchmark the home compost industry, definitely come to our breakout rooms so I could tell you more about this. Next slide, please. So this is a unit of our lilac composter. This is a unit that will help solve the food waste crisis according to the UN. We just learned all about it, how organics is getting into the landfills, and emitting these methane and harming our environment. So we hope to basically eradicate this problem right at our homes and really turn waste to valor right at our home as well. Next slide. Yeah, so now is the time to pull out your phone and take a picture of this screen. There are 2 QR codes on here. You can definitely use the left one to book a 30-minute call with me after this pitch to learn a lot more about what we do. And also, if you scan the QR code that's on the right, that will directly direct you to our website, to our social media, and we have a big unveiling at CNE in 3 days, downtown Toronto. So I'd like to invite you all to come to CNE and check us out. If you subscribe to our email, follow us on LinkedIn, we can give you updated and you will receive free gifts. But yeah, I believe I'll be in breakout room number 3. Again, co-founder CTO Huai Gao. I'd love to have you join me in our breakout room. Thank you.
Thank you, Wai. All right, here we go. Another round of breakout rooms. We've got our 3 pitchers. Please feel free to select the breakout room of your choosing, and we will see you back in 15 minutes. All right, welcome back, everyone. I think we have everyone back. It looks like it. So let's dig into our last round. We have 3 more ventures pitching today. I'm passing it over now to Tim at Intervision Wellbore Technologies.
How is everyone doing today? Hope it's good. Intervision, we're based in Calgary. We build a sensor imaging system that goes into well bores and determines where they're leaking down the hole, if they're cracked, any of the things that can be wrong with them. It's the single largest expense outside of making the well in the first place that oil companies and gas companies have. We're really focused on micro cracks in the cement and failure of threads in the borehole. These allow the leaks to the surface. We also ensure that perforations are open and that there are no leaks going up the borehole. All of our clients are really very excited about this. They've been investing in us with parts and really trying to help us get there as much as they can. Next slide, please. This is what we do. This is the old way of doing it. It's called logging. They run a bunch of sensors up the wall and they measure every few feet. They give an average of every few feet. Our picture on the right shows the steel. You can see the surface of the inside of the casing. That's a perforation hole in it. There's the perforation through the casing, into the cement, into the rock. And this is where all the action begins. And that's where it all ends as well in the well bore. We have to know that these are all good and that they're performing really, really well. Our clients, represent really all of the major companies operating in the world today. And they're also sponsoring us. Next slide, if you could, please. Sponsoring us to commercial trials starting in a couple of months. The people paying for this so far, Conoco, Imperial, Suncor, Cenovus, Canadian Natural, also ADNOC in the Middle East, and Conoco Ventures in Houston. This is what we're funding right now. COSIA has been, those group of companies put in $500,000. Got SDTC startup seed round. We won the cleantech TNT Alberta contest for this year. IRAP, Alberta Innovates Cleantech Award, and we're now looking for approximately $500,000 to finish off the round. The market right now in Alberta initially this coming year is approximately 48 million. Alberta will be at, it says 120 million, but it's more like 180 million per year. North America is 5 to 8 times that, and the rest of the world is approximately the same as North America. So there's approximately a $27 billion market worldwide for us. We have 50,000 wells in Alberta that haven't been done yet, and all of our clients, that's these guys, all want their wells all done by this technology because it represents a state of the art, a really game changer for them, which is why they're supporting us really heavily right now. We're in the middle of talks with our Middle Eastern partner, ADNOC. They're hosting COP, and they want to make sure that we're there and we're doing our thing, because you can't have like carbon sequestering and geothermal without complete wellbore integrity. CO2 blowout is horrific. Not good for anything that lives nearby. And keeping the wellbore safe is our job. That's the thing that we have to do. We have to make sure the steel and the cement are solid at all times. Also, the technology scales up to the size of pipelines and down to the size of, well, a knitting needle if it was hollow. So we'll be expanding the scale of the technology, but the next several years will be focused solely on doing well abandonments and wellbore integrity. The Alberta Energy Regulator is helping us, and the Natural Gas Innovation Fund is going to be bringing some companies who've asked to see us this fall. Shell, Petronas from Malaysia, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries from Japan, all coming in the next couple of weeks to view us. All of our clients that we've got now, Conoco, Imperial, Sunco, all those guys, are very excited about deploying the technology. We start our first commercial trials this November, fingers crossed. All the parts are on time, all the budget's there, and we just need a little more money to finish us off and go fast. Once we've done that, we will enter then into a Series A and scale, and that's pretty much a basic story. We have a lot of very interesting and additional information that we'll be sharing with you in the breakout room. But the business is extremely profitable, between 60 and 70% gross profit. It's $50,000 a well.
Sorry, Tim, gonna have to cut you off there.
I knew it. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
Thank you so much. And you can dive into greater detail in your breakout room. I'm going to pass it over now to Trevor and VoltSafe. Thanks, Tim.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. Check. 1, 2.
Correct. Go ahead.
Great. Awesome. Well, welcome to VoltSafe. I'm CEO, co-founder, Trevor Burgess. You've probably seen something like this in your life, and maybe a variation of this around the world. Why do we still use these after about 140 years? Thomas Edison first brought electricity into our homes. We've got over 6 billion people around the world that connect to higher voltage almost daily, which is about 85% of the population. So why are we still primarily using this when it comes to high power? Next slide, please. The reason behind why we are connecting to high power using prongs is because it is very fast and efficient. It works, gets the job done. However, there are key challenges associated with this. Right now, there are other solutions out there. We need to protect humans. Unfortunately, our skin doesn't save us from everything. And touching higher voltage, typically above 30, but definitely above 60 volts, can induce a potentially lethal shock. So metal-to-metal contacts are considered conduction. And you see the lower voltage stuff, you can touch MagSafe, the connectors. However, anything like this, you can't, because they need to hide that. So the world's been using prong plugs forever. VoltSafe is a prongless solution that hasn't ever been available until VoltSafe has come along. Now, conduction and prongs come in many forms: commercial, residential, and industrial. You look to your right there, and when you get to induction, which is kind of wireless, you have efficiency challenges, also cost and scale, and power limits at distance due to safety. And now you even have radio frequency, which is very small trickle charge, 15 watts total for the FCC at any distance. So there are limitations, and there are safety issues with conduction and prongs, along with accessibility for our aging population, and smart adoption for advanced GHG savings. Next slide.
Sorry, Trevor, I'm going to have to ask you to save your last slide for the breakout room as well. My apologies.
No worries.
I will pass it on now to our final pitching venture. Last but certainly not least is Sam with Carbon Graph. So Sam, passing it over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Anderson. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Carbon Graph, and we are a software company that automates the process of doing life cycle assessments. Life cycle assessment is a study to understand the overall environmental impact of something, usually a physical good. And today we live in a world where governments and companies are rapidly responding to climate change. Most large companies and many small companies are now either committed to or required to track their overall carbon footprint. And yet it still remains very costly to actually measure the carbon footprint of a physical good, let alone any of the other environmental properties, like how much water it uses or if it contributes to acid rain or things like that. And so what we've been working on for the last 2 years at Carbon Graph is how can we automate that measurement process? How can we provide a tool that companies, small, medium, and large, can use to measure the carbon footprint and other environmental properties of the products that they sell and share that with their stakeholders, which is usually their customers, their investors, and in a lot of cases, governments as well, because Canada, the US, and the EU, and China have all begun to implement carbon pricing that actually depends on this data. So I'd love to tell you more about Carbon Graph in the breakout room, where we're at in our journey and what we're building next. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. So we've had some amazing conversations in the breakout room so far. We're about to go into 3 more. Before we do that, I'll just ask Astrid to advance 2 slides here real quick to our announcement for our event today. Our early bird registration is open for the Foresight 50 showcase and celebration, which will be held in Calgary on November 8th and 9th. So ventures and ecosystem partners, industry, anyone who is interested in the clean tech space and wants to come meet the Foresight 50 are welcome to join us on the evening celebration on November 8th. November 9th is a private investor only event. So if you're an investor on this call today, we would love to see you at the investor event on November 9th. So you can get all of those tickets through that QR code. The early bird rate applies to the showcase day as well as to the investor only day. And we will hope to see some of you there. I want to be respectful of the time for those that need to jump off. I will send my sincere apologies to our 3 ventures that are losing out on some of the breakout room time. So if you are available to stay on, we will open up breakout rooms for 15 minutes for our 3 final ventures. So please do stay on if you can join us for the breakout rooms. We will open those up shortly. If you need to jump off to another meeting, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you had some great conversations, and we'll hope to connect with you again at the next pitch event. So Nisha, feel free to open up those breakout rooms. We have the 3 rooms open. We'll keep open, as I said, for 15 minutes. Our next pitch event for investors will be on September 6th. And then we'll also have one in early October. So please keep your eye on your emails and join us at our next pitch event. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep talking as folks either move into the breakout rooms or jump off the call. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll hope to connect with you soon.